Alright, hello and welcome. So yeah, we did a little bit of AFK yesterday. Got ourselves some money. Look at that. I'm gonna go put all that into managing miscellanea now. Okay, what are we looking at? Let's see, am I organized enough? Sure. Get that sweet 48 XP, click on the sale. Oh yeah. Stream is going. Let me turn off my my OneNote upload so it doesn't interrupt. OneDrive, while it's syncing, 8 hours, very nice. I think I got everything I need to do. Let's not run into these mana rays, stingrays. So yeah, let's process these real quick, and then we'll go to miscellanea, and we will deposit our money. So let's go there. Stop the boat. Get off the boat. Well, I guess we're gonna process first, so stop navigating. And then yeah, I guess I showed the start of this, just because I've never really done it on stream before. And then I guess I'll show what I do when I finish a load. Is I just elk everything and I wait for a thing to process, I click, process, click. Some of the stuff I guess I'll just go and bank is when I am all done. I usually elk almost all of this, all the rings at least. But at this point I'm close to a bank, so I might as well go and see what we get. So, okay, open that, put these away, and then I just start processing the next batch. I didn't mean to swear like that. I meant to say batch. But you know. So yeah, we're about to put 600k of this into managing miscellanea. About 600k is what I need every week. Is 7 times 75. Well, 7 times 7 is 490k. And then 7 times 5 is 35, right? Add those together and you get 525. But 600k is 8 days worth. And that's what we'll go with, 600k, and just chuck them right in. Gives us a little bit extra cushion. Let's, before we grab more out, go ahead and process a little bit more. Get more of these in our inventory. Then we'll just go bank all these and then see what the last amount is. I almost always do at least 2 runs because you get so many of the planks. Probably should start elking. Okay, drop these. Still waking up. I think we're starting to get there though. Sometimes you just gotta start sailing before you're ready. And realize it doesn't really matter. You'll get there. Sort of like if I go to the gym or something and I'm tired or whatever, and well, yeah, sometimes I don't get the best workout, but eventually I get going. And yeah, I'm starting to get there right now. And sometimes you just have to process what you're doing at the moment and realizing that, oh, I want to just relax. Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling, I think. is I came in and realized I had a charge, and I can just get rid of it. Looks like we're gonna get most of them in one inventory. Sometimes I can click it before it goes into the next spot. Yeah, so we'll just do a full inventory basically, and then we'll come back and grab almost another full inventory just worth of that junk. And by junk I mean these things, which they're not junk. Mahogany repair kits are pretty expensive, huh? And so yeah, there you go. Got a full inventory of goodies. And then I just come and, I guess, I grab these too. I don't think I want them in my boat. I don't even have a cannon on my boat, so if I died I would just lose those for nothing, so might as well bank them. And yeah, that's how I've been collecting all my Ring of Duelings right there. We don't need these anymore. I don't need these either, huh? And then now the next time I go sailing, I don't want to have my whole chest be filled with all those holes, all those repair kits, I mean, so can't seem to press this open because the sail's right there. So yeah, now next time I come in there I have 5. It's perfect. Like if I only had 25 left, I probably would have only grabbed 20 right now. And you know what? I need to take my allergy medicine. That's what I think it's need to do. Keep forgetting to take it. And I always take it in the morning, so the 24 hours kind of wears off right about now. So let me pause stream for a second. I'll be right back. Let me turn the camera off. I'm gonna be right back. Alright, I'm back. Got to take my Claritin, so I wanted to get that. Alright. Hopefully we'll stop having a runny nose. Let me blow my nose before I turn my camera on. Alright. Let's hope that does it. There we go. Everything's back on. We're on our mic. Let me check, make sure that we're public. All my settings are good. Let's go to channel content. Live. Yep, we're public. Mic is on. OneNote is off. Yep, it's in the right everything. Alright, let's get going. How do I get rid of distractions now? YouTube likes to send a lot of information, so I want to reduce the amount. So yeah, let's go to the farming guild. Basically gonna go and do a fruit tree seed run. Go get some jangerberries for free. So those are our super compost. And then one of our goals is to get to 65 farming, almost there. But yeah, our level is climbing all across the board. Gonna have to start. Got so many AFK things to do now. I think smithing is going to be one of our AFK tasks. I'm really regretting that I want to start doing blast furnace. For some reason I feel like I can't avoid it anymore. I've been avoiding it in life. So let's go, we put our money away, so let's go CIR first. If we had money, we would have went to Miscellanea. And so yeah, we'll just go to Miscellanea at the end of our farm run, or maybe right before it, who knows. But let's just stop off here. We have a task, I think it was these loads. Yeah. Someone's dropping all these super composts. It's just, yeah. Okay, let's go and collect our... we can't do that yet. We need volcano, so I guess we'll come up this way. See what she's got for us. Take another contract, and we got tomatoes. So let's just put these away. Grab some tomato seeds. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure I have all the secondaries for Witch's Potion. Okay, we got that. We want our volcano soil. Getting really low on that. That's why I want to do Hispori, so I don't have to keep making all this super compost. Make half as much. That'd be very nice. So let's open this boy up. Drop her in. I think we'll harvest these strawberries. I think we need a shovel. But before we do that, didn't we let's try to do one thing at a time. I'll keep jumping around. Keep wanting to do 5 things at once. Which means I just need to lean back and sip some coffee. Much better. So yeah, we're starting today with our usual routine of getting our farming up a little bit. Just that daily task. Get our tree running. Let's go ahead and collect some strawberries real quick. Put our tomatoes in so that we can get our next contract going. I need a spade. And yeah, one thing I notice about myself is I have this very perfectionist nature about myself sometimes, and it's good to just let that go. Whatever, I didn't grab the spade. Oh, I didn't grab the volcano thing. Oh, I was gonna go to Miscellanea first, and well, part of what makes me me is I have 20 thoughts in my head at once. And yeah, having 20 thoughts in your mind at once is going to have pros and cons. And can't have all the pros without some of the cons, so it's good to just breathe, you know? You know, not having such impossible standards for myself. I keep going back to this, like, I watched, before I got into streaming, I kind of wanted to, I wouldn't say model, I don't know what the right word is, but I watched some Bob Ross just to kind of see how he did it, I guess. Kind of like, that'd be, I could give people Bob Ross energy, I think that would be, just the closest example of someone that I would want to emulate, I would think. And I'm not trying to be Bob Ross, but that's just what came to mind, you know? So those are planning. Let's grab some limb roots. And I would watch him, and I saw that he wasn't even close to perfect. Like, it was, you know, things that he would do, I would not allow myself to, you know, a guy that's been on camera for 20 years I was watching was just as nervous as I would be sometimes. Like, he would have to say these PSAs and these, like, end of his video stuff, and anytime that he wasn't painting and he had to say, like, a scripted line, I could see that he was not in his zone. And so sometimes I'm not in my zone, but I still sometimes put that impossible standard. And so I think part of it is just going through the reps and kind of recognizing that no one cares. Whatever, I stumble and I say some dumb things, and I just have to trust that the preponderance of my stream makes up for any of my faults. And so it's good to focus on what you're good at and try to just make as many good moments rather than looking to avoid the moments that you're struggling, you know? So let's just double check, grab an ultra compost. I think we did these, but let's just double check. Okay. And we'll come back and fill up our super compost at a different date. Kind of like just to do one load at a time and not spend too much time there. Let's just open these up while we're here. Release these. Let's grab these out of our bank. Don't need them. Let's see what other seeds we got. These can all stay. Those can all stay. Yeah, looks right. Okay. Let's check out what we have over here then. Don't want that cosmic. Okay, what do we got? So we don't care about acorns. Can't do magic. Palm, I don't think we can do palm yet. Banana we can. Apple we don't care about. Orange we care about. Okay. And then we have a bunch of apple. And then in our bank, what kind of saplings we're looking at? Looks like we have 6 banana. That's enough for today. We have 4 U's. We don't have to do, we'll do that another day. Maybe start stacking some cactus spines up first. So I think we only need 5. And then let's just turn those into saplings real quick. We got that, we got this. And let's just grab those. Okay. Don't need that, don't need that. We'll bring these just because we grabbed them from our Cool Leprechaun. I think we already have our Drummond staff on, so yeah, we'll keep that there. Grab our money stack. Let's grab an axe as well, because we're going to stop at miscellanea. All those, yeah. Or something, yeah, I need to grab runes. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Kind of have to blow my nose. I feel like one of those like times where I'm about to sneeze like 20 times in a row is about to occur. So I kind of want to go to miscellanea first. And yeah, we're basically going to have to deposit, I think it's 525k a week to maintain. We just went there yesterday, but I'm at 750k, and any more days that go on, it's not going to drain 75k, it's going to drain a percentage of that. And that percentage means you get less resources. So we got 675k in there right now. So I'm going to put 600k more in. And then every Monday I basically have to put another 525k in. So let's just collect since we're here. We put it on fish as our most important thing, because next Monday hopefully I have enough fish to start cooking to get to 70, and then I'm going to switch away from fishing forever. I'm going to put it all on herbs and 5 on our maples. There's a good argument that I should put it on teak next, but I think just AFKing teaks is probably going to be what I do. Okay, let's, so we collected, let's go ahead and deposit. So we'll go ahead and deposit 600k, enter. Very nice. Okay, let's go and teleport to Civitas Illa Fortis. Mr. Renu, take me to the story. Let's take a sneak peek at our hardwood trees while we're here. Oh yeah, we did papaya last time. We might already be at 65 for all I know. No. But that would be cool. Well, we brought an axe, so we don't have to pay our guy any money to chop it down for us. Takes a little bit more time, but not that much. I plan on actually, having them. Okay, let's just go Tree Gnome Village, I suppose. Okay, so let's go, where are we looking at? Time tracking, go trees, and we have Thursday morning. So on Thursday's run, I can go and plant 4 more hardwood. Oops. Let's go this way. Oh, you guys see that cannon fly off? It's actually kind of cool. I'd always seen cannons, but I never really seen the trajectory go like that. I think I'm waking up now. So our farming run will end. 62. We now grow snapdragons. Very cool. Yeah, waking up, starting to process what I'm going to do today. Hopefully we can spoon our glacial tomatlis. We're going to train our strength up to 70, and if we don't get them within that time, I think maybe we just start doing the boss. Is that I'll just go and I suppose get a rune defender and get a dragon mace and just go and do the Amoxil instead of the blue Naguas. Okay, I guess we'll go Gnome Stronghold next. Oh, let's squeeze through there. I wanted to... Oh, I stretch my neck a little bit. Release that tension. Oh, I'm ready. Okay. I thought I clicked the wrong one. Oh no, a dead papaya. Things you hate to see. Let me just set these papayas to use. That way. Use. There we go. We don't have to keep right-clicking. I forgot to bring my, I like to bring my sailor's amulet. Because then I can get to Brimhaven super quick. And so instead of getting there super quick, I just get there quick, you know? These are the efficiencies that break me, you know? Difference between getting them glacial tomatlis today or not is that one Nagua that I'm not going to have the time to kill. Okay, Brimhaven we go. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a bit of XP at this point, per level. You know, we're at 62. That's quite a bit. We're no longer at the low levels where every tree feels like a level. Sandwiches. You got something special for me, huh? Square sandwich. Dismiss. At least get me a stale baguette. This guy's getting after it. He's high alchemy and teleporting. Okay, so I didn't bring a ring of dual. Oh, I do have a sailor's amulet. Ah, look at that. I didn't grab one today. I had one from yesterday. I just never. In my mind, I had a dead papaya again, right at the start. Tisk tisk. My sweet, sweet XP. Things you hate to see. But yeah, I usually bank everything, and today I didn't have a reason to. I already was prepared. Okay, so we deposited all our money into our miscellanea. We did our tree run. Let's just get our combat gear on. think we could go and make a... Do I want to make one? I have over 50 crafting. I can make a... Oh, the kind. What is it? A ring of money. What is it called? Ring of wealth, right? Level 50, right? 55, 561. So what else could I make? 74, 72. The rest of them are so much higher. I think we make a dragonstone ring. Yeah, let's go stop off and make a dragonstone ring. So what, Edgeville? Where am I going? Alcarid's probably closest, actually, to a teleport that I have. So let's go Emir's Arena. Yeah, let's go. Hopefully we have to have gold ore at the very least. But hopefully we have a gold bar. Make our ring of dueling. I mean, shoot, we might, what is it, 80, I think? 80 for a glory? We might actually just get 75, 76. Be able to make Slayer rings, make other things like that. Because otherwise I have to do Monkey Madness 2 before I do Wilderness stuff. Otherwise I don't have a level 30 escape. But I can make a Slayer ring my level 30 escape. They're cheap and basically free to make. Okay, what are we looking at? Yeah, let's get a ring mold. Let's go gold. We got one gold bar. Just, yeah, whatever. Let's just grab a gold ore. That way at a different day, I don't... If I have a quest or something, I need a gold bar, I'd have to stop at a furnace. Whereas today, I'm already at the furnace, so... Yeah, just like that. We actually have a useful ring. Okay, and let's now need, I don't know, I don't even know what runes you need, but looks like I have all of them anyways. I feel like it would be earth for some reason. So let's just put an earth staff on. And then jewelry enchantment, and it's earth and water. Ring of wealth. Let's equip that boy. Okay, Proselyte, Hamaneznat, Strength, Blades, Gloves, Boots. That feels about it. Cape. I wonder if I should look into getting our own cloak too at some point. Get a little bit of extra prayer. But this kind of has a certain, you know, gray look. Okay, then we need a butterfly net. We need some jars, I guess. Maybe like 2. And then just go here. Look what we got. Yeah, I guess we'll bring all of them. So 2, 3, and then like 5-ish of the other one. Kind of running low on warlocks, huh? We got 50 more right there, okay. Grab 5. And then we need fire runes, we need natures. We might as well just bring our money stack, and then we need our teleport there, which I'd probably put here somewhere. Here somewhere. Pendant. Okay. I feel like we're bringing too many butterflies. Let's just get rid of 1 and 1, 2. And we'll just come in bank. If we need... Getting too specific on what I'm bringing for some reason. That should do. Okay. Twilight Temple. Set up quick prayer. It's on Protect Magic. What the heck? Dodge that one. And we got a Glacial Tamales on the first one. Not quite. Okay, what are we looking at? We got our strength pot, we got our attack pot, we got our net. Let's put these over here so I know which one's which. And yeah, any one of these kills can be our last one. At this point, we've reached our goal of 75 combat. Hopefully we don't have to go too much further. Let's turn down my headphone a little bit. I think I'm a little... There we go. It's hard to talk when my music is just a tiny bit too loud. Let's go ahead and catch before we run out of prairie. Slap him with the net real quick, let him know. No messing around. Slap you with my net. Looks like I'm gonna have all of them half dead. Each time I run and grab this, it seems to de-aggro. Love dodging those. Yeah, we're hitting hard. 27s. And Glacial Tamales on our second kill. Almost. So let's pull up our loot tracker. We're a little above drop rate, but not too much. And yeah, let's hope that we don't have to stay here too long. says I've gotten over 1 mil worth of value here. It's pretty nice. But it's kind of making me want to... What would I just do? Toggle item? How do I untoggle? Oh shoot. What does toggle mean? Now it doesn't show my 2 top money makers here, the coal and the whatever else. I kind of want to figure out how to undo that. View details. Well, I just cleared out information I didn't want to clear out. View details. Hide loot. Show ignored items. Okay, there you go. There we go. You can just hide certain information. I guess that's kind of cool that if I wanted to hide information, I could. Alright, so where are we? My body's in space right now. I worked out yesterday. Chest a little sore. Body's a little sore. But it's starting to sink in. We're a little slow on the uptake. I think we'll get into our motion again pretty soon. Kind of start recognizing when this bar is getting a little too low. Oops. I should get rid of that. I used to have a plugin on my laptop, not on my computer, that wouldn't let me just kind of move that without a little bit more intention. Wanted to dodge that, but I already had my cup going. We are collecting a decent amount of prayer pots here. At this point, I might I don't think prayer pots are that much of a concern anymore, to be honest. I banked a ton of them from managing Miscellanea, so I think when we actually start doing PVM, I was imagining using Moonlight Moths, and you know, certain stuff I'm going to use Moonlights for sure. But, you know, certain stuff like Dagonoffs, and I go do DKs, well, prayer pots, I don't care. I have more than enough to start letting them get drained. But, you know, I kind of want to do Royal Titans now. I wasn't thinking about doing that until after my wilderness grind. On my way to get my main goal on this account is to get a Void Waker blade. That's kind of the main challenge that I'm want to force myself to kind of do, is that I usually avoid the wilderness, and on this Ironman I want to stop doing the things I avoid. So I have a group Ironman. I started working a lot right after the group formed, so I kind of started falling a little behind. Can't help myself, I'm a alcoholic sometimes, you know, so I would just come home drained, and well, when you're drained, you don't want to do new bosses. I mean, and so yeah, if Zulrah is already complete, I already have a blowpipe. Like, there's no need to learn how to do Zulrah. And so I got really good at a lot of the different group bosses, you know, Yama and Toa especially, I think, are the two. You know, we did all the God Wars. Anything that needs a group, I got pretty decent at. We're gonna start pushing like Chamber of Xerix pretty soon. I think we'll be able to do that pretty easily, to be honest. We're doing expert Toas with ease. We're gonna start trying to push our Toas to 350s and 400s soon. That's our kind of where we think that we could be farming and not fully stressing out doing it. Anymore, it's kind of I think it's gonna be okay. So let me put it this way. I was doing Gauntlet, right? And I could do regular Gauntlet one after one after one. Like, I can just do that all day basically. But if I do Corrupted Gauntlet, I do one and then I basically do nothing for the next 10 minutes. And so I found that after we got our 2 weapon seeds, it's like, well, you know, I wasn't a pro at doing Gauntlet yet. As I was saying, I'm more of the anything that's more group based. That's where I put my energy. Anything that's Toa, anything that's God Wars, anything that's Yama, like all that type of stuff. That's where I spend most of my time and effort, is with the group, is when I'm doing my PVM. But I just moved back home, and so I have a lot more free time again. I'm more relaxed. And so yeah, I wanted to start a new account, give myself a little bit of challenge of doing live stream. On paper, it's kind of like my nightmare. You know, I'm not one to, you know, seek attention. I've always been the person that kind of like avoids social media, avoids performing, I guess. I've always been the one who likes to just chill. And so yeah, I just want to chill on stream, I guess. But the thing is, it's learning how to be comfortable chilling in these situations that for some reason I don't allow myself to be comfortable. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, who cares? So you just need the reps. That's my kind of attitude towards it. Am I gonna play Deadman on the 30th? I wasn't planning on it. I've never done a Deadman before. It might be fun. I'll probably skip it, but do you usually do the Deadman? Is that something you enjoy? I don't even really know what Deadman, I've seen other people do some, but I guess I don't really pay too much attention to it. Alright, maybe we'll do day 1. I don't even have any idea what I would be getting myself into, but maybe that's the fun of it. You just kind of restart, you get like not max XP, but you get a lot of like, there you go. Yeah, maybe that'll be fun. So that's what, almost 20 days from now. Yeah, we'll see. You know, part of what I love about RuneScape is everything kind of stacking. So maybe if it's just like a quick... It would be kind of fun to do some things that I'm not used to doing. Some bosses and such, maybe I'll try out with these different... You get, I can't think of the name. They're like, the things that, like, enhancements or, sigils? Sigils, I think is the name, right? Yeah, we'll see. Well, if I mentally prep myself now, then when it comes, I'll do it. Maybe I'll learn how to do Chamber of Xerix there, because that's kind of my next, on my group Ironman, not on this account, is certain bosses, I kind of, if it feels like there's a hard entry, like a large curve, I kind of avoid those ones. If I have to look up a guide on how to do it, I feel like I don't, something makes me not want to do it. There you go. Yeah, someone can teach me how to do chambers. But yeah, certain bosses, like, okay, when I did Yama, when I did Toa, when I did Royal Titans, those types of bosses, I didn't need a guide. Like, it just was pretty intuitive of what's going on most of the time. You know, I did watch some Toa guides, but I never felt like they were overwhelming. Like, it's just pray correctly and avoid very obvious spots. And then if I watch the Chamber of Xerix one, it's just like all this like luring and avoiding, and I don't know, just it looks not fun to me. It's like I'm cheesing the game. So it feels like you have to memorize like a lot of small things instead of just kind of, you know, I like things where you're reacting and you're kind of predicting at what's going to happen, and you're kind of, oh, we got another pendant. It's our 7th one. Nice. Okay, so right now, we just got back into Toa, and oh shoot, let me we'd stopped doing it, like we did some Yama. We started playing a different game, me and my brother, more relaxed. Like yeah, I don't want to go too much into that detail, just because it's off topic more. But yeah, so we've been a while, like we were away from Toa for a while. Before they made all the updates and stuff, we started doing different content basically. Yama came out, so that was part of it. And then we got the drop from Yama, and then so we started doing some Corporal Beast. And so yeah, we were able to push. So within like 3 or 4 tries, we're back up to doing 300s with ease. And so I guess my question is, if we can do 300 with ease, I would assume Chamber of Xerix is kind of not going to be too tough for us. Like if we have that skill level, it shouldn't be too much of a challenge, hopefully. Okay, let me go and get my butterfly. Okay. Oh shoot, we didn't click our prayer. It might be dead. Yep. There it is. Okay, let's go. Rip. FailNOutloud. Dead. Okay, so Monkey Madness 2. So that gets you all of your Zenites. What's the main thing it does do for Cox? Oh, okay. Okay. So Monkey Madness 2 is just an easy goal. Very specific. You can then go and do something that everyone's going to want. They're all going to want magic upgrades, range upgrades, necklace upgrades. And that's going to be kind of a bottleneck because you can just go and buy a lot of other things. Okay, what do we want to do? Let's just stop at a bank. Do you happen to know what the boosted XP rate is? I don't need an exact number, but like if it's like 10 times quicker. You know, how quick is getting 87 Slayer? Is essentially what I'm wondering. I feel like we're bringing too many. There's going to be some on the ground. Okay. Yeah, I guess I won't make a decision now, but I've never done one. But maybe there's always a time for your time to see what it offers. It's probably really fun getting all that XP so quick. And all like the sigils. Is that the sigils is like the main, like what's the selling point to you, or what are you looking forward to doing the most there, I guess? So it's Dead Man mode. That means like, is it like a PvP world? I kind of forget. And there's like I know they have those little they're not called raids. What are they called? Where all these like bosses spawn in the wilderness and then you go out and try to fight them. Isn't that the Dead Man mode? Yeah, we have a lot of these warlocks right now. That's our strength pots right now. I had a feeling I was bringing too many. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get better at PvP, so that's like my RuneScape life has always been kind of, you know, when I first started playing, I was a money maker, and then I transitioned to a skiller, and now I've transitioned into a PVMer / Ironman. And at some point, I want to get into PvP. I don't know if it's going to be this account, you know, maybe I push this account up to the point where I've done a lot of the solo stuff. And, you know, maybe in a year or two, if I'm really enjoying streaming still, and maybe I make another account where I do like PvP focused stuff more. And so yeah, maybe doing this dead man mode and kind of seeing how that goes. Maybe I could learn to enjoy it. And so yeah, one of my goals in life right now is okay. So what, you just need, what is that, 50 strength is the requirement from Maul? So you get like probably 50 strength and 75-ish strength, or 50 attack and 75 strength or something like that. Maybe some magic and range to boot. Okay, yeah. So like 50 attack, 70 strength, and 70 range, 78 magic. 78 magic, is that for like ice? Well, I can't think of what that would be for. Vengeance, maybe? Is that what it is? Yeah, if I ever make a main account again... Okay. Hello block. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if I ever make a main account again, I'm 100%, I think, doing PvP. Like, that'd be the... I don't see any reason for me to ever make a main if I wasn't doing PvP. And so yeah, one of my goals in real life is to convert nerves into excitement, basically. And I think, you know, I avoid the wilderness. I've had that fear since a kid, basically, of like, I don't want to go out there. Like, even if I'm numb to the fear, there's still like the, like, not wanting to go into PvP. Like, it's just like an annoyance, you know? But there's, you know, I avoid competition sometimes, and so I kind of want to get into being excited. And so I realized, like, if I play poker, I absolutely love it. You know, I love the competitiveness, I love the shit talking. But if I'm playing like RuneScape and other things like that, even if I'm playing basketball, you know, if I do one-on-one, or if I'll lock in on defense on like one-on-one, or like in a group, but you know, like if I'm going up against someone, but I'm not trying to hurt someone, I'm not trying to, you know, so there's like, I take away the competitiveness of it, of like, what's more important is someone not getting injured right now. Like, I'm not trying to win the game at all costs. But if I'm playing poker, then that kind of goes away. And, you know, don't put me on a Risk board. I don't know if any of you guys have played the game Risk. But... so I know how to convert nerves into excitement. But it just feels like somewhere between... you know, when I was like 24, 25, I think I stopped being competitive. Like, we'd go and play volleyball and I wouldn't want to spike on people. You know, it's just like, stuff like that. And I feel like that kind of took away, like when I went to the gym, I wouldn't be like trying to see how many reps I could get. And it was just like, oh, we're going to do reps in reserve now, and we're going to do all this very safe stuff in it. I think I'm kind of done with that chapter. I'm trying not to go into like a bravado chapter, but yeah, I just want to convert, you know, these like nervous feelings and stuff that I might get into being excited and kind of like enjoying it and just kind of being at ease with it, and like even more at ease giving me a charge. And so I've kind of been doing that, you know, outside of the game recently, and I think it makes life better. I'm a big believer in you go for Australia. That's my strategy. You can go for South America too, it's my other strat, I guess. But even North America too, it's not too bad in risk. You kind of have to play with whatever the map gives. You know, sometimes we pass out cards and then your guy just goes into the spot. I haven't played in like 5 years, I feel like, but maybe I'll get a risk board. But you know, the thing is that all my, you know, my two best friends, you know, they have like wives. My brother has a lady now, so you know, I think Risk is a game that it's best not to play with the ladies. I think they get a little angry, take things a little too personal sometimes. They start like gunning for their men. Oh yeah, maybe we should start doing like a poker night thing, but I don't know. My friends are kind of workaholics, so we kind of like just to chill. Like I'll just go over and football will be on in the background and we just kind of catch up. You know, my friends are always looking at Excel sheets and like numbers all day, and like, you know, like accounting and finance is what they're into, and so it's just like I can't even see my friend for the next like 3 months because he's in his busy season and he's working like hundreds of hours. So like the last thing he wants to do is play a game of Risk right now, you know? So yeah, maybe I'll take your advice and maybe do some dead man mode and see if I can figure out how to PvP a little bit. I don't even know what my instincts are for PvP. It might be. Yeah, I got some F keys. We'll see how it goes. You know, I can do some, like, a little bit of switching. I feel like my clicks are just not that quick. It's just hard to... I hate magic. It's hard for me to find... My eyes just don't work. I guess until they do, though. Like, I amaze myself sometimes how I click buttons. You know, I used to be really good at, like, so I was talking about earlier how I lost my competitiveness. Is I'll play, like, Super Smash Bros. Or Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Or even, like, chess. And I just don't even care about winning anymore. And as, you know, as a teenager and into my early 20s, like, I used to dominate at that type of stuff. And, yeah, I just kind of... I don't even care. Like, it just doesn't even... So, I don't know. I used to, like, really enjoy that type of stuff. And I feel like that kind of like takes the spice of life out if you can't enjoy a little bit of competition. It's hard to like force myself to care. Oops. Well, I wonder if I should get into like risk fighting or if I should get into, I think I'd want to start with wilderness, just to kind of give me a little bit less predictability, less different skill levels I'd be going up against, not knowing who I'm going to be going up against type of thing. And then eventually get into the, you know, I hear these terms and I have no idea what they even mean. Like, I have no idea. I keep hearing like NHing and I have no idea what that really means. Like, you know, I often see people wear like derricks. Is that related to it, or that's just its own thing? Yeah, killing bots, that makes sense as like, you know, do some... I would imagine Rev Caves is where I'd want to go first. That would be kind of the... I'd imagine the spot to learn, to see if I even can enjoy it or not. Okay, looks like we ran out of strength, so let's go ahead and sip. But yeah, I think that'd be kind of, yeah, I'm always working on like, okay, Rogue's Castle, Bone Altar, Lava Dragons, Zombie Pirates. Okay, kind of build yourself up. Yeah, I think, you know, at some point my instinct, my competitive instinct turned into like always building towards something, and I don't know. Sometimes it's, I think, good to let loose and just compete a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I have a main account that has the bond money, I would imagine. On my, I have 3 accounts. Well, I have like 4 or 5, but let me go get a butterfly real quick. Yeah, I have bond money. Maybe that's what I want to do. If I was to, like, I can make a series on new PvPer, and I don't know, go from affording a bond basically on that. I don't know, maybe that might be too tough on me, but essentially do a free-to-play PvP, earning my bonds constantly. Just have to always... Yeah, I'll have to watch that. Oh shoot. Am I gonna die again? I would imagine, because like you have no damage, so you kind of have to knock them out, I guess, with a rune 2-hand. And they probably don't have that much money on them. Yes, I would just buy a month. Yeah, I see. Yeah, it sounds like not fun. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, you might be onto something. I think I have a little bit too much going on right now. I'm writing a book, and I just found the ending to the book, so I'm not sure if I'm in the perfect state to get myself into a PvP adventure. I think once this Ironman mode gets a little stale to me, and by that I mean like I have a full set of most of like the sorry, sometimes I lose the thread. Like if I start thinking about too many things, I kind of lose context. What ending? Ending visible? Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm super happy with that. I kind of knew where I wanted to go, but, you know, just wrestling with this character's choices in life and, like, you know, he naturally ends up going down this path that leads him into basically becoming a tyrant is the... And then all the characters interacting with it. Yeah, it just all unfolded really nicely. And so yeah, I rewrote the first chapter, or not the first chapter, but the first backstory chapter. So like the start of the earliest moments, not the earliest writing, but the earliest moments in the series, and yeah, it's just all landing really well. I'm super glad. Like I even have like the setting now, like down. Of like I know the way the continent looks. I know how most of the like states, I guess you would call them, look. And then I even came up with how this, you know, this palace that they live in. Like it did, like they're not, you know, there's different levels of people's ability to, you know, craft, right? So you have this one civilization that's more nomadic, and it wouldn't make sense for them to have like stone crafting in this like magnificent palace. And so I found out how I did it, is that it's like this, I'm just gonna make like an ancient civilization ruins that they kind of adopt. Yeah. And so I figured it out. They're kind of in this valley, and they're kind of, you know, like they're lords, right? They're like the strongest people. They have, you know, whatever. So most of the land is this barren, and you have to follow the animals and try to find water and stuff. But, you know, they're like essentially the kings or whatever you want to call it. And so it makes sense for them to have the best land in the area. And so so they're basically in this like valley, and it's like a what do you call it? Hot spring? Is that the right word? Not hot spring. Natural spring, hot spring. It's like geothermal. And let me not die again. Yeah, they have this like geothermal thing, and there's this remnants of this old civilization that was there. And so yeah, they don't have to know how to, so you could have them be making wood fortifications surrounding this old like pyramid basically. And so that allows me to have the original image that I had of like they're in a palace, but then it allows me to keep them as this like nomadic people. So it kind of answered how I could do that. And so yeah, all these little small details are starting to come together. I'm able to kind of solve the puzzle of my vision compared to these different ideas that come in later, you know, and kind of figure out how to make it work, basically. And yeah, it's just kind of funny how these characters that you know, because you have to invent characters to, you know, like you have the idea of this is what the character is going to experience, so you need someone to do this to them. So you make a character for like a plot point. And then now this character is just vital to the ending of my entire book, and like just perfectly fit the thematic thing of what I'm trying to do. And so yeah, it was and so yeah, it just makes the rest of the writing so much easier now that we know where we're trying to get to. And there were certain things that I was wrestling with of like that just wouldn't land for me. But yeah, you make video games? Very nice. I wrote a few video games ideas in the past. I don't know if I've ever will, I've had like 3 or 4 ideas, but I wanted to make my own Skyrim type of game of like something in between Fallout and Skyrim of these different classes you could build, basically. I had all the mechanics down and I had the remnants of the world, but I tried to get into game development. Hi, welcome to the stream. What type of games were you making before, or currently? Alright, looks like we're getting quite a bit of levels. We have 3 more levels and then we're gonna retire from this. And I think go get a dragon mace and go get a rune. Maybe we just go for 60 defense. think we'll get 60 defense at the Cyclops if we have to go down that route. I don't know what all the terms mean. So when you say duo, is that like a partner? Or is that like struggling with my duo? I'm terrible with terms, so. Okay. Like he wasn't. So this is my. I've done. I don't even know how many accounts I've done. I probably did like 4 accounts back in like early 2000s, just as a kid, just randomly restarting. Just I don't even know why I would restart. I then, you know, I had an account I played with my brother that I eventually mained, and then after I did that, I started a new account. This is like 2010-ish probably, and I got like 99 range and magic. Some reason like. I was like, oh, everyone is a pure. I didn't even know what that really meant at that point. So I was like, I'm going to make a mage and a range person. And there's like no reason to do that unless you're getting into PvP, and I wasn't trying to. And then after that, I converted that to a main account fully of like, okay, well, we're doing melee now, of course. There's no reason not to. Why do I care about keeping my stats low? And so that was maybe around 2014, 15, 16 would be my, I probably stopped playing in 15. And then I came back like 4 years ago. I made a main account and I pushed that into close to like 90 stats, I would say. And I was basically a pure skiller at that point. And then about maybe 3 years ago, I started a group Ironman. Right at New Year's, me and my group had kind of formed. And that one was PVM focused. And then I started this one, I think after August, like September probably. So this is my first solo Ironman. And my first group Ironman was about 3 years ago. So by like gameplay progression, Koopa, you're talking about like the different areas in the game? Are you talking like the gear, upgrades, all that type of stuff? They're really making me work for that butterfly. Okay. Yeah, what type of you said RPG, was it kind of like was it close to like Skyrim? Was it close to like RuneScape? Was it close to like what do you call it? Like Witcher 3? Those are like the 3 three types of games I understand the most, I guess. But when I think of RPG, those are the three that kind of the different types of games, I guess. You know, so okay, so I'll try to describe what that each one is. You know, Skyrim's that open world where you get to explore everything. Witcher I see is like the story progression, that almost like Grand Theft Auto. I don't know how to describe the difference between the two too well, but and then yeah, you have a clicker game like this. Okay, so like I haven't played much of it, but a game like one where you have those blades. You're like running around with those swords and you have like the quests and yeah, okay. Okay, very nice. I'll have to see if I can find my not prototype, but my my written words on how I wanted to make my this game that I had in mind of. It was basically my complaints about RuneScape. Like I put all the skills that were gonna be in it of how I would do it. I had some different ideas and such that I thought might be cool. Maybe I'll pull that up. I don't know if I could find it. Then we'll definitely die. Now let's see if I can find it. Let's go. But yeah, I had it all like a lot of the stuff that I had written down was we'll see if I can find it. Documents. And then I called it Iron Escape for that's a placeholder name. And then brainstorming to do items. I have monsters, I have skilling, I have these different folders. Skilling, future skills, RuneScape versus Iron Escape. Let's just open this one up, I guess. I should make a prediction of, you know, am I gonna die in the next 10 minutes if I try to multitask? Because it's almost certainly gonna be a yes. Okay, let's see. Hopefully it doesn't look too annoying, but I have this. So I kind of wrote my early level like thinking. I feel like the early levels in RuneScape are too easy, so mostly skip by questing. I kind of want to actually have the gameplay of the early stuff and not just get skipped. So I haven't looked at this in probably like multiple years, but and so yeah, I made this skill XP. So I don't even know what this stuff is. I kind of forget what I'm doing sometimes. So yeah, I basically said this game, the game I'm making, I was gonna do level like level 1 would be 2,700, and that would be like it'd be like getting to level 16 in a comparison. And then you would just kind of go through, and so level 100 would be like getting level 101. And then like these are the equivalents. This is your XP per, so it'd be like a level would feel like getting level 37 to 38 or whatever. And so yeah, that's kind of how I did it. So it'd be less dopamine at the start, but you're kind of stuck at these early levels like you're in a level 40, and then it's just how it's slowly, you know, but your last level is like getting level 96, so it's only 900k, not 1.3 mil. So each level at the end feels less grindy. So it was a way to scale it in a way that I thought was healthier. Like that's how I would scale it. And so it's less grindy, and I even put something about dopamine, that it's not as addicting. And so maybe that actually makes for a worse game in terms of... Okay, let's try to play this real quick. I'm going to go full screen, sorry, just so I can manage my inventory a little bit and not die real quick. I think I'm just going to drop this ruby, and I'm going to drop these. Okay, that makes it a lot easier, what I was trying to do. And then let's catch this. Okay. And then, oh yeah, like you even, this is just one, I have a lot of documents, so I don't know if you want to try to read some of that. I don't have the concentration right now to multitask. What is this even saying? I think it's just how I'm gonna, make each thing kind of feel a little bit more important. So it's just like by the time you're wearing like iron, you don't even have to wear iron. You're just kind of jumping up and you're already using adamant and ruin almost right from the start. I got that boss music on right now. Today was I wanted to switch up my music. Okay. But yeah, this is how I kind of view XP and gear. That was that kind of document. Oops. Let's not die. My screen's too small, so I can't make my clicks. Well, let's see what else we can find. What else did I do? So more skilling stuff. I have future skills and I have skilling. Let's open up skilling, I guess. See what we got in here. I have no idea what I'm putting over here, but early levels are too easy. Mostly skip by skipping. This chart is... so it looks like this is the same, but it's just more spelled out, I guess. Less grindy at the end. So skill 0 to 100. Free to play is you can only go to 60, I kind of put. Maybe I'll just stop. Let's just relax. We don't have to play RuneScape right this second. All right. So yeah, 0 to 100. That was kind of my idea. Skill mastery at this. It was here's the formula I came up with that felt the closest to what I wanted. This random, these random numbers. Or 27 XP at level 1 and approximately 6% for the next level. That's all what this is, basically. And then, yeah, that was this chart. And then I had these skills. So I had offensive skills. You had melee, range, and sorcery. And I kind of had said you'd make weapons from smithing and mining. You do woodworking and woodcutting, smithing and mining for arrowheads, I guess. Then sorcery, I guess I never came and finished that out. And then you'd have these support skills is what I came up with. So you'd have endurance. And so I thought, dancing, I don't even know. What kind of idea is that? This would be like agility. Or I guess maybe I have an agility. But I had endurance and agility. So this is like your health and run energy apparently. And then this is your defense. So agility is your ability to like dodge. And then endurance is your ability to endure. So that's kind of how I logically thought about it. So there's not really a defense. There's like your ability to dodge and your ability to like take. You had processing skills, smithing, woodworking, needleworking. I guess I had crafting as jewelry and orbs. I had an enchanting, which was, so this is like rune crafting, jewelry, and making magic gear. But yeah, I had all this information kind of made, and then I made this thing of my game versus theirs. And so, you know, like attack and strength would be combined. Prayers, divination, for some reason I changed that. Magic breaks off into sorcery and enchanting, but you know, rune crafting goes into magic. And so yeah, I had all these areas. I had kind of, you know, your level 0 area, your level 10 area. Like I even put like these different how I would want to thematically do it. And so yeah, I don't know, I put a lot of thought, I guess, into it. Of like, I kind of saw like this commercial town goes into a night town, goes into a something else. I don't even know. Titanic? I don't even know what that means. But yeah, a lot of incomplete thoughts, but that was kind of my that part of it. I don't think I like this song in my playlist. I think we'll just I wanted to try it out, see how it felt. Let's just play this song since it's only played for 10 minutes. My other songs play for 30 minutes. And that way I don't end stream too early. Right? But yeah, so I came up with I came up with like a Skyrim based type game. And I actually thought I came up with I really like the ideas I came up with, but on how you can make combat a little more fun. So what I like about Skyrim compared to like, I'd kind of said that, you know, you have like a Witcher type game, you have a game like Skyrim, a game like RuneScape. I kind of had made those as the main categories I'm used to. And I guess one of the differences between like the Witcher game and a Skyrim game is I feel like the Witcher has some more complex like blocking and abilities and stuff. Whereas I feel like a Skyrim is more sandbox. It's just like you just hit button. And I actually really like the simple games, I guess. More than like the combo and dodging and abilities and all that type of stuff. Alright, let's keep sipping. Let's just spoon these glacials already, right? At any time. We're almost at 800. I kind of keep going back and forth on AI. It's kind of, yeah, we're here for the glacials. I'm kind of stepping out of the early game into the mid game, and I want the glacials for a few bosses. And so I kind of wrote this little bosses that we can start doing. And so most of them are magic, but some of them are melee. And so okay, so the reason why I'm here is I wanted to get 75 combat so that we can do Konar. Shoot, let's not die. Alright, we're gonna die. Yep, there it is. I knew it. I knew it wasn't in time. Yeah, all these bosses are all magic based, that you hit them with magic. And then the other bosses are all like weak to crush. So that's a Moxel and Seracnus and some other low level stuff. Is that, you know, I'm kind of entering the mid game, and if I don't do some of these bosses now, I'll never do them. And so most of them are actually weak to crush, seemingly. Oh. Yeah, I'd like to get those tamales, basically. Leo, not interested. Alright, let's try not to die. Okay. Oh, I tried to bury my own bones, but I have them set to drop, so. No respect for my past life, huh? Oh no, it's... I distract myself too. I was trying to decipher that old game and try to come up with a quick summary, but it was hard to do that while also doing this. I thought I'd be able to distill it into my head and just intuitively know it, and yeah, there just was too much information, and it was from... I don't even know when I wrote that stuff. I feel like it was like over 5 years ago. I was gonna try to learn how to make video games at that point, but it was kind of it was, you know, you make video games, so you probably can tell me more, but yeah, it was just a lot of like just trying to figure out what, you know, system I was going to do and how to get it even like rolling. Like, I just want a very basic video game. You know, I'd rather explore, like, you know, making the all the items and like, I don't need these complex like happenings in the game. I just want to make, I want to be like, I think Nintendo is kind of like the gold standard, and the reason why is all their games are just easy to pick up. They're not overly complex usually, and you can still master at the game without there being that much stuff in it. So it's knowing to not add complexity is, I think, what I find best in those games. And I think RuneScape does that too. And so yeah, yeah, I want the boppers for a few reasons. Ice boys. Is eventually I want to do Sarachnis and a Moxel. So I think now is better than ever to get it, because we wanted to get to 75 combat so that we can do Konar, so that when I'm doing my my main direction in this game is getting to Rev Caves. And so I'm going to be doing wilderness skipping, basically, as I go and get a wilderness task, and I'll go skip it with the birth rope person, and then every 10 tasks I want a Konar skip so that I can get more and more points. And so now so that's why we came here. We were hoping that we would get the boppers before. But we've already gotten 2 extra levels. And we're about 50% over drop rate at this point. But yeah, I was looking at different bosses and stuff I can do, and I kind of saw Royal Titans on there, and they're pretty easy from what I remember. But you know, I went in with 99 attack, strength, and defense, and probably 97 or 98 range, I would imagine, and I had full, whatever you call it. Yeah, we went and got the whatever you call it, the sulfur blades from the sulfur boys. That was nice. But at this point I'm only here for the poppers, because I'm gonna want it when I go and do Perilous Moon, Blue Moon, and if I get them, I kind of might try some Huaycoatl or whatever you call it. See how it goes on this account of, you know, once I get to a certain point, I don't think I really am going to care for Mr. Huey. Let's go catch him off. It would definitely be more chill than this, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I think I just tackle it. I just did Wilderness on this account. On my other accounts, I just did the best Slayer Master I could go to, basically. I think there were some quests. Let's see. Just go Slayer, Old School RuneScape. And we get our ice poppers. Nope. So you gotta speak it into existence. That's my belief in life. Gotta believe. Yeah, there's really not that many quests that get you a lot of XP. You know, as Royal Trouble and getting the Salve Amulet were big ones. I guess for me, I would say patience is one of my strongest, one of my outlier stats in real life. I feel like no one has, like, I feel like I have an unnatural level of, like, patience often. Not saying I'm always patient, but it seems like I'm not in a rush, I guess. And so yeah, to me, like, the early level stuff is just like, I guess I've always just done it. Okay, let's go not die again. Yeah. See, I put myself in weird spots though. Or let me try to explain what I'm thinking. The patience to not have patience. I like these tongue twisters or whatever you want to call that. Yeah, I don't know how to qualify that statement yet. Is that the paradox of tolerance? Is that? Well, it reminds me of the paradox of, like, freedom. I think that sounds like it's the same one, maybe. Where, you know, where does freedom end? Basically, are you free to, you know, if you were to create, right? Yeah. So the more freedom you give to people, the more that they can coerce each other. Is the what I was thinking of. That's essentially the same, right? To a certain. Yeah, it's about freedom and coercion. So it's the same rhythm, but Okay, so I guess I go into paradoxes quite a bit. And so, like, one of the things about me is my mind can be so open that I realize having a closed mind is more advantageous. So it's like, I'm open to closing is one of something I've realized about myself. And so, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is like my patience allows for my impatience. Like, like, okay, let me say it differently. It's like if I'm around a kid or something, like I have a lot of patience with them. I allow them to be kind of impatient and I just wait for them to relax. And so I guess that's something that I've also learned with myself is that is the patience to allow myself to be impatient. I think that's kind of what I was feeling earlier. I forget how I worded it earlier, but I think that's what um I didn't have the words for yet. So don't be an idiot like me, and it's almost never a good idea to get in fights with like logical fights and stuff with the ladies, I suppose. But there was this girl I was talking to at one point, and I explained to her that, you know, she was telling me I was closed-minded, and I told her, my closed-minded mind is open right now to understanding what you're saying, and your open-minded mind is closed off to understanding my closed-minded view. And so it's just, that's just the type of person I can be sometimes. But I didn't win because of that. Oh, this guy's gonna take my thing. I'll let him have it. But yeah, I definitely never felt like if I won an argument, it never really felt like it. It's just my own self-satisfaction mostly. It was just better to distract her, I think, if I'm being honest. I don't know. It might come off as misogynistic, or I don't know the right word, I guess, but yeah, just tell her what's on my mind and not try to argue about it. Let her have her own reaction to it, let her process it, distract her, and go back to enjoying each other's company, I guess. And I don't mean that in like the way I'm meaning it is that she would rather have a good time, I would rather have a good time, so I'd rather just have a good time, you know. And that's just in a, um, yeah, we'd rather joke with each other and keep things light. Alright, looks like I'm playing the game better now. I'm just naturally keeping my moonlight moths up again. I've died a few too many times, I guess. Okay, we're approaching 800 kills. We're at almost 68. 70s. Really not that far off, so. Yeah, I was gonna say, shouldn't take too long, right? It's like getting all your stats to 50 is how I would picture it. Like if I was to start a new account and I was to train on cows and then go train on whatever else, but... Yeah, I've been getting into AI a little bit more. I was avoiding it forever. At this point, it's a tool, and now that I've used it, I'm more scared but less scared. And so I think it's gonna make a lot of delusional people. I think it's gonna make a lot of narcissistic people. But I think it's just a tool, that those types of people are just being they're given a tool that they can't handle, and so it just brings out the worst in people that don't have integrity, basically. I think that it's always going to kind of tell you, it's going to make people more HR compliant. It's basically one of the big things I'm seeing, and so it's going to give people the toolbox to say the things that they're supposed to say while still protecting their like the thing is always going to tell it, like, going to tell people, oh, you're so right and you're so justified, and it's going to get you to be, it's going to tell you that you're right emotionally while then giving you the safest way of handling situations. And so it just turns into more passive aggressive people, essentially, is my thought. Oh, that's interesting. So what does versus can? I have to think about that now. So if you ask it does versus can, I'm trying to think that one through. Now you have me intrigued. Okay. And so then does... So if you say can... So if you say does, it kind of like implies as like this is the way. It's kind of what I'm trying to... It's hard for me to express that yet. So when you say does this, it thinks that's like your rigid way of thinking, so it's going to tell you no often. It's going to try to make an argument of like, you're thinking too narrowly, basically. Like something like that. Am I on the right track or no? Whereas can's like, yeah, it can, and here's how it can. Whereas if you say does, it starts thinking, if you ask a controversial question, if you say, does this cause, it will say, no, it has all these other causes. But if you say can, it says, yeah, it can, maybe. I don't know if doesn't feel like I landed quite where the difference might lie. Yeah. I like messing with it because I've started using it. I wanted to avoid using it for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is that it's not reality, that it's not tested in reality, that it's just digital input. And so I think the further you are from your own senses and other people's senses and such, you start running into issue. And so that's why, like the hard sciences versus soft sciences, that's why the certain ones are better than other ones. And so yeah, basically I think I'm saying is that the amount of information that they take in and output is such a ridiculous level that eventually AI is going to be feeding its own thoughts from other AI models almost primarily. And so it's not going to have a great self-correcting mechanism, in my view, of actually being tested in reality. It just says what sounds right. And so, if I don't know if it does it for 1 year, if it does it for 100 years, it does it for 1,000 years. Eventually, at some point, it's only feeding itself. And so, yeah, that's one of my big fears. 2 is the GPS type thing of, if I use a lot of, like when I was 16, I would get nervous about not knowing exactly where to drive to. And so I would just turn my GPS on. And so I feel like my ability to navigate in the world is not as high as people that didn't have that tool. So my ability to form sentences, my ability to form coherent thoughts, if I was to journal and try to struggle and get every thought down, there's a certain skill in that. Whereas now I can just rant, put it into an AI thing, and it's going to spit out, my coherent thoughts, and then I can read it and it will kind of bounce ideas with it. And so there's like so I kind of have somewhat of that fear. But I would say my biggest fear is this HR compliant cheat code, that it's basically turning you into a HR, will turn the wrong people into yeah, right. But people used to use like they would know things in relationship. So that's what you lose, how things are relationally to each other. Of like, oh, that's 5 clicks away. That's, go, you'll see this tree. And so yeah, I guess you're just you're almost warping from place to place, it feels like, and so that it's like you're in a disconnected world. But yeah, it is what it is. I still use GPS. I still overuse GPS, and I've improved my navigational skills over the years just because I see that as a weakness that I don't want to have. But I'm still not as good as I'd like to be. Like, I'm far from where I want to be, is how I want to really say it. Is that I always have that crutch, and I always use that crutch. Is I don't like to get lost. So that fear of getting lost, well, that means you're not going to be able to navigate when you get lost if you have something that's there. And so yeah, I go back and forth. I'm using AI a lot now. So it's, for world building and coming up with character names and things like that. It's pretty solid. I have a character named, whatever the character's name is, right? Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of skills that we don't even realize that we're losing, though. And that's like, a lot of people are not comfortable going up to a stranger and asking, how do you get to this highway? And then when they actually hear them say it, they're not able to actually process the words. And they don't want to look like an idiot, and so they don't ask questions until they understand. So yeah. So I know my own stances in life, and one of the main stances I have is everything comes with a trade-off. But there is no perfect solution to anything. And so yeah, you just recognize it as a tool, and I think it's kind of foolish to not develop AI at this point, because your enemies are not going to not use it. So it's like, like the invention of a nuke, or the invention of a gun, or the invention of steel armor, or whatever invention you want to point to. If you morally choose to not use it, right? Well, you're just setting you and your people up to death. Like, you're just going to get conquered, and you're going to be at the whims of those that went and did it. And so when you have these AI systems that are, guided rockets and whatever else that is out there, and if you don't develop it, someone else is going to at this point. And yeah, we're kind of past the luxury of like a world without it. So but yeah, I think now that I'm using it, everyone thinks they're discerning. Everyone thinks that they're wise or whatever to a certain extent, and that, oh, this doesn't affect me. And so I don't know if maybe I have that same in me, but I just think I see the effect that, I used to be on Reddit a lot. I used to I don't know what year that was, probably like 2012, 2013 is maybe when I started, and I built my own PC. And before I built my own PC, I used Reddit. There was like a Build My PC Reddit or something, subreddit. And that was my exposure. And then I got into different fandoms and like my sports teams and leagues and stuff. And well, pretty soon I went to R All. And then I kind of saw the effect that the hive mind was having. That I thought this was like a place where, oh, like the best ideas are going to come out and win. And I soon, not soon, but eventually learned that there was some different incentives that led to groupthink and led to downvoting opposing ideas, and that it was a hive mind. It wasn't a... So I went there to get rid of, you know, different cognitive biases and stuff, and so I noticed its effect on me, and it did affect me. I became more left-leaning when I used Reddit, and I recognized the faults after the fact, that I did go through this and I did let it affect me, and it wasn't for the good. And so it's around 2016 is when I stopped using Reddit, and yeah, it just the level of justifying political violence is what I had seen on there, and that was my turning point of like, this is, I can't, these people are crazy. And I try to be like I try to be a reasonable person and try to listen to like all ideas, and that there might be information that I don't understand yet. But yeah, I don't want to get into politics, but yeah, that was kind of my journey. And so yeah, what I'm trying to say is, you know, AI is kind of gonna have its effect on me too. And so I like to think that I'm not going to let it control the way I think and lead me down a path that, you know, is that I'm going to be strong enough to avoid it, while I think other people are going to become more narcissistic, is what, you know, is what I said earlier, right? Is that I think it's a tool that's going to validate you too much, is what I've seen with it. And it justifies what you put into it. It basically just keeps telling you, yeah, you're so right. Oh, that's an amazing idea. Oh, that's, you know, this or that. And I think a lot of people are not prepared for how to defend against that. And that's going to cause, you know, the rise of even more narcissism, you know, basically. Rune javelins. I think we'll drop them. They elk for quite a bit, huh? Maybe we'll elk them, I don't know. Oops. But yeah, it's great for organizing ideas, and there's definitely some breakthroughs and stuff that I've had with it. But I think I'm naturally a suspicious person. Is that my BS detector is typically at a decent level. And so I think, you know, that's what I believe, is that because of that, I'm probably less likely to get the negative effects that I'm saying are out there. I'm trying to think at what best it does for me. So one thing I do with it is I make videos. So I'll just throw my entire transcript into it, and it will break down a 4-hour video of all the different scenes. So that's one of the uses I use for it. And that's been, it helps me mentally know how to break an episode much quicker of what's, excuse me. All right, turn my mic back on. So yeah, I think my biggest fear is if I say, I don't even know what I put into it. But if you put in like, this person did A or this person did B and I did this, you know, like, I can't remember ever doing that though. So it's hard for me to explain what I've seen. So I can't quite recall a perfect situation of when I saw that it was basically saying that I'm right and they're wrong. I feel like there's been situations where I've seen that from the AI. And it never questions your observations unless you cross like a certain PC line. I think that's the other thing. Is it just assumes what you're saying actually happened. And so yeah, you start believing. So I think that's the thing, is it, if you're not careful with AI, it will make you start believing your observations a little more than what you comfortably should. You should have a little bit of doubt on certain things. And sometimes you need more information before you make a choice. And so when you're in that phase, and if you were to go to an AI and say something, it might let you cross that threshold into a belief earlier than the evidence that you have would should allow for. And so yeah, I think that's the cleanest way. Somehow that came out. I think that's the cleanest way to express my thought. And so certain narcissistic people will, you know, use that justification, and they'll also learn the PCHR best way to handle that situation. Like, it's never gonna say like, you probably messed up. I mean, unless you tell it to, it's not gonna be like, oh, you kind of messed up. Maybe you should apologize, like, or maybe you should consider their point of view, or, you know, I don't know the exact thing I want to say, but something along those lines of like, maybe you should just let it go. You know, it's always gonna be like, it's always gonna validate your most reactive. So that's what it is. It's going to validate your most reactive emotions. And so yeah, I've tried to use AI for like writing and such, and to a certain extent to clean up my sentences. I'll do that of like, hey, I have this idea and it's not landing right, and then I'll kind of look and try to see what it could help with. But if I have it go off a prompt, it's terrible at this point. All the different models I've tried to do of like, hey, make a scene about this, and it's just like, it has no nuance, has no doesn't understand, I guess. It's just so on the nose. But it is really good at cleaning it up. So that's, I think, the primary use that I've found for it. So, okay, so what it does best for me is it fills in enough information for me to later go back and correct it. Of like, I just want to get this idea out, but it's hard to fully get it out sometimes. And so it will just find some quick little ways of getting that information out in a coherent sense. And then later I go back and I say, okay, this is the setting now, this is this now, this is this character now. And so, you know, what do we just get? A 68 strength? Okay, cool. Okay, so like yesterday, I was trying to come up with a setting for this palace that I was coming up with, and I knew the people, like, okay, so I wrote the scene originally, and they were in this, I was picturing this grand palace, but I didn't have a name for it, I didn't have a location, I didn't know anything about it. I just had this image, and it was more important to get the characters, get the scene right, and then later I would come back. But you know, later I had developed that these people were not capable of making a place like this that they were in. And so I had to connect the dots, and so it was like I was trying to like, I gave it the I gave it the scene of this is where I'm describing, but the people are incapable of actually doing this. And so I put in it, well, so I was building my whole argument. So I said to it, well, you know, these are lords, so they would have access to the most fertile land and the best permanent structures in this area. So that would make sense. Oops. And so try to help me make sense of what's going on. And, you know, I'd said, you know, in that same prompt, I said, well, it could be like an ancient civil, like it would make sense that they found these ruins or whatever. And, but like, it wasn't all making sense of like, there was just so many things in my mind of like, they had these like geothermal things and they had all this like I don't even know how it would work. Like I kind of want the opening scene to be kind of, you know, this girl not wearing shoes running in the grass, but like it didn't really match the world that she came from right away. And so yeah, I was able to kind of, you know, put all that information into it, and I told it to make an image of all this. And so then, yeah, that's what basically what happened. And so that gave me that I had this idea of like, it's this ancient pyramid, but then how would you have like, it wasn't landing how I would describe it, what it might look like, what might all of the landscape, how would that be, how would it be grassy if it's like, and so yeah, it just showed this pyramid, this ruinous pyramid surrounded by this like wood fort and all this like, these hot springs, and how grass would be there, and like it kind of just all filled in and gave me that full image that it wasn't fully connecting for me. And honestly, one of the biggest things for me is just writing a prompt to it will force me to realize my questions and realize my struggles before I even need an answer. Of like, it forces you to think and make coherence as you're going. Of like, well, it could be this, I guess, but like if I didn't actually sit down and type that, if I was just in my mind, I'm always saying no. Like, it doesn't, how does that work? Like, but if I actually write it down of like, oh, it could be this, and I let it kind of make sense of it. But let me say it differently. So if I say something, I then want to see if it makes sense. But if I am writing it for an AI to make sense of it, right? I don't care about it making sense. I'm going to see what it's going to come up with. And so it opens up, these ideas that I have, that these possibilities. I'm not concentrated on making it make sense. I'm just coming up with the ideas. And so instead of like focusing on rejecting my own ideas that I sometimes get into, I'm just writing ideas out, essentially. So even if, even if I didn't even have an AI thing, I think just the practice of brainstorming all of the bad ideas out is its own like significant benefit, I guess. But the AI helps because it incentivizes you to do that. That I normally wouldn't want to do that, and I probably wouldn't do it, even if I know the benefit. I want to avoid doing mother load mine, but I really want to get a coal bag. I really want to get a gem bag. I wonder if I should just... I really don't want to, though. There's just a million things I can do, and I really want to get to my rev caves. So it's just like I keep seeing these little grinds I could do, and there's just always going to be one more. I would love to have a coal bag, because I'm going to need to get to 70 smithing. I mean, I could just go and buy and do Giant's Foundry, but I don't know. So yeah, this is Varlamore. This is the runes of, I think it's, I don't know the exact name, but it's the Twilight Temple. And it's in Varlamore. It's, I think it's like on the northeast-ish area, maybe north, I don't know. I'll pull up a map in a second. This is the from the quest Heart of Darkness is the name, and the boss is the Amoxel. So there's a boss chamber somewhere. Oh, well, I guess here's the map. So here's the map. And so here's Karend, and then here's Varlamore, and it's right here. So here's the Huayquatl, right? Isn't that where this is? Pretty sure. Okay, let's not die, because we're about to. Whew. I didn't know if I got that off in time. Yeah, these are, yeah, this is where the Amoxel is. A boss. A low-level boss. And yeah, so that was my last PVM challenge I gave myself, was I wanted to see where I went in blind against the boss, that I hadn't looked up a guide in, like, feels like forever. Like I don't know when the last time I did it on my main was, but... And so I didn't have a crush weapon, so I went in with my my sulfur blades. And we were able to... It was so easy, I can't believe I don't think I was stressing about it, but there's a word below stress that I was feeling of, like, doubt. Maybe I was doubting, like, this maybe is a terrible idea. Like, I don't have, I wanted to... Okay, I can replay it. So I had the intention of getting 75 combat for a reason. And so I wanted to come here to train and get the glacial tomatlis, or whatever they're called. And so then I was like, okay, I'll do the quest, and then before I fight the boss, I'll just come here, get the glacial tomatlis, and then go kill the boss now with an actual good weapon. Because it's weak to crush. And so I got down here, and you didn't have access to these moonlight moths, and so I didn't want to use prayer pots. So it's like, okay, well, I guess we have to go fight this boss. And, you know, the best rune weapon we can come up with is a rune mace at that point, because we didn't even have 60 attack. And I didn't have a defender because I don't have 60 attack and 70 strength, or didn't have 130 combined, right? And so then I was like, okay, well, I guess we gotta do this boss, and so we can either get a rune mace and try to do it. No defender, just wear a shield or something. And then... Or try the sulfur blades, and I didn't know if it was possible or not. And so I kind of looked at its stats, and they weren't that high. I put it in the DPS calculator, and it was a 40% accuracy, but it out DPS'd our a rune mace. So I think it even out DPS'd the dragon mace without a defender. So we went in with our sulfur blades against this crush thing, and I was like, how's this gonna go? Like, I was like not looking forward to doing it, and I went in and it was so easy. It's just like, oh my god. And so yeah, I did another challenge earlier, and that was I had to fight the Blood Moon with worse stats than this, and okay, sometimes I see that double splat, and then I'm like, oh no, am I getting hit right now? And so I just had a little mini panic there of like, oh, I ran out of prayer again. So yeah, that was my first, my other PVM challenge I gave myself was with 55 attack, and I think I started with like 40 defense. I tried to do the Blood Moon, and the Blood Moon heals when it hits you. And so if your defense is really low, it's not a fun boss. So, that was my first adventure into PVM. And soon I'm officially going to say my early game is ended once I get Barrow Gloves. And our mid game is going to start. And so before I put myself into my main grind, which is going to be the Rev Caves and getting a Voidwaker Blade, that's the inception of this account. That's where I want to get to. Like, that's the main image I have in my head, and then at that point I could play the rest of the game. That's how I say it. And so I guess before I lock myself in there, before I get my levels up too high, I kind of want to have some fun on an Ironman and kind of do some of these other bosses at still a low level. And so I want to get these Glacial Tomatlis, or whatever they're called, so that I have a decent crush weapon without having to go get a defender, is basically the primary reason why I'm here. But we're now approaching the levels that we can just go get a defender. Once we get to 70 strength, we're at 130, and the Warrior Guild opens up. And I think I'm just going to go train my defense when I go there. I should. I don't have NPC aggression. Okay, cool. But yeah, it would be really nice to get the Warrior Guild, to be honest. All that. I really will have unlimited food at that point. I can just go buy either pizza, put pineapples on them. That's a decent per inventory item. I think it's like 22-ish. And then I can also obviously buy I think, was it cheese potatoes that they have there? So that's going to be a nice upgrade in itself. And is there anything else there that's cool? And yeah, I guess we're gonna get a Dragon Defender. I wasn't thinking I was gonna do that, but we're at the point that it might make too much sense not to. I wanted to avoid doing it, and I could use these new dual wield weapons instead. But, you know, I'm one that wants to embrace the journey a little bit more now, of not always having the perfect plans. You see that I plan a lot, but yeah, not having the perfect plans and just kind of seeing what happens and letting it change the course a little bit. And whatever, it doesn't take that long to go get I don't know if I'm going to get the dragon one. I want to just get the rune one. That will kind of give me enough peace that it's not like a super... Oh, trust me, I get it. But, you know, I'm making videos too, and so I want the content to be kind of more, Okay, so on my main, like my group Ironman, I went and I did like 1,000 runs of barrows, and I got full Guthans, and I literally just parked myself at what's it called? At Bandit Camp, wearing a Zamorak item or Ceradomin item, I forget, and just let myself get 99 attack, strength, and defense. Like completely AFK. So, you know, let me not die real quick. But you know, I like the idea of, okay, so when I play Skyrim, when I play this game too, it gets too easy, and then I don't want to, you know, it's just like, I don't know. I think it's more fun to do some of these bosses at a lower level. But yeah, I can just go do Sarachnis and go get full Blood Moon later, and go get Arania boots, and you literally just put on Protect from Melee, click boss, eat food when the mage comes out if it starts hitting you too much, and just finish it up. And but I think it's more fun to go in there with the full Chad outfit, you know, of Proselyte or Void Armor or Mixed Hide or something, and only going in with 60 and 70, and, you know, getting that item at 65 attack instead of 99 attack when you don't care about it. Welcome to the stream. And so yeah, that's kind of you know, I want to get to these PVM things before I'm maxed out, because I think it's just going to be more fun, I guess. I mean, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that Blood Moon challenge at like a level where, like, it's not that interesting of a drop. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah, when the barrows doesn't hit, it's kind of can be a little miserable, I find. I definitely went through a lot of dry spells, and then I would get like a back-to-back, and I would get like a double drop, and you know, or you would just go dry on a certain one and you would just start getting a lot of like Torag hammers and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of how I see my PVM, is the earlier I can do it, the more I want to do it. Or like, that's not how I want to phrase it, but yeah, to put some limitations, having a little bit of limitation, you know, gives it more fun. And so yeah, I want to do like Royal Titans is something that I want to do, and I want to do it at like an earlier level than I initially thought. And you know, instead of doing Sulfur Naguas, I would go and do Scurious or something instead. Like that would be my like I've already went to Sulfur Naguas. Is that a Rendi video? I feel like I have. I definitely know it. I think my brother told me about it. I think that's more... I think I've watched other Rendy videos, but I don't know if I've actually seen that one. I'm assuming it's him. Could be wrong. But yeah, I'm... right? Yeah, it's hard to... In life, it's always hard to find that perfect line of, like... I don't want to be, like, in a challenge account, but I don't want to be a... You know, get everything to high level and, like, bypass the early game. And so if I made it too strong, then I would, yeah, I don't know, I just would... It would lose some magic of, like... You know, I don't want to get... Nice. I don't want to get, like, 94 or whatever. 94 Herblore to get anti-venoms or whatever it is, and then go do Zora. I would rather do that at a... with no Herblore level and go in with just... anti-poisons. Like, give myself a little extra challenge to it. Of, like, not needing to be 100% prepared to get the reward of it. Is to kind of push the PVM as much as possible. Of like, I beat this boss, okay, well, this is the next boss that makes sense to me. And so that's kind of more where my head's at. Of like, let's find the next challenge. And it, maybe not challenge is not the right word, but let's find the next, next upgrade. So I just look for the next upgrade and then, you know, go from there. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to avoid as much training as possible. But it looks like we weren't able to get the Glacial Tomatlis on, you know, I still have a level and a half. I've done 900 kills. We're almost twice as dry. So we're probably in the 80%. 80% of people get at least one at this point. And so yeah, I think we'll see if we can get it before 70. If we do get it before 70, I'm gonna actually just maybe train there. Just do the boss up until 70 and go and get the defender after. Maybe that's what I'll do. We'll see. Alright, just a heads up, we have about 25 minutes until the stream ends. Our last song is on, so I'm starting to... We'll be wrapping up in, yeah, half hour. I'm already hungry. Usually I'm not hungry this early. But yeah, we've almost got 2 mil worth of value, it says, from these. Oh, this soft clay. I'm never going to have to worry about that, huh? Too bad I don't have too many battle staves yet. Maybe I should look into doing... I don't think I want to, but there's probably an argument to start doing some Varrock diaries, but I feel like I kind of want to ignore that. And it doesn't exist, the battle stabs, and just get them from PVM. And Celatrus seeds and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess for me it's more of adding another daily scape thing, is that now I have to, every day I log in to go and get my battle stabs. And so yeah, that's more of what I think I want to avoid. It is a lot of money, but I think I want to hopefully start gearing my head to just PVM again. Is that I really only play this for about 16 hours, I guess, a week. And then I do some AFK when I'm doing some video editing, but is that soon I'm not going to need money. I think it's going to be really soon, hopefully. I shouldn't die real quick, so let's go run up. Shit, I would have died. Okay. Luckily, I ran out of range. Was able to sip the prayer pot in time. Well, we definitely have enough gears. Well, we definitely got a lot of coal. I like that we have 1,000 gold ore. That's almost 50k XP, right? That will get me up to at least 50 smithing. Yeah, I plan on doing revenants hopefully soon. Keep saying that. And that's gonna... You know, I have a pendant already. I have one of the totems or whatever it's called, and that one is 1 mil. So I have a mil in GP that I want to avoid using until I really need it. I think I value the ether from it more than the GP value. On my group Ironman, money is just so easy that I'm hoping that it works that way for this too. Money is not a limitation. Like, time is my biggest resource, I guess, is time and effort. You know, I can't just run back to back to back to back Corrupted Gauntlet. It destroys my mind. It saps my energy. And see, I think I try to always focus on, that's like I've recognized in myself, is finding what the bottleneck is and focusing on that. So I think that's one of my specialties in life. Like, even when I was, you know, when I programmed, when I worked at the flower station, when I worked at the pharmacy, I always located the bottleneck and fixed it before it bottlenecked everything. And so I guess that's what I do on my accounts too, is I see my energy and I see my time as the bottlenecks. And so trying to recognizing that I have goals, right? And so I don't want to go into efficiency scape, but efficiency is obviously the answer to time and effort, right? If you make it more efficient. But, efficiency scape also only is looking at time. So it's not looking at effort and how much you enjoy it. Because if I enjoy playing, that makes for a better experience, right? And so, yeah. My focus is getting to rev caves, is essentially what it is. And I'm allowing detours and distractions along the way and letting the journey kind of unwind how it needs to. And so I kind of want to just, I guess, yeah, I'm an agility purist, or whatever you want to call that. So on, I think all of my accounts, I've started with agility, or at least my latest ones. On this account, I have 76. On my group Ironman, I have 77. And those were like literally like some of the first stats I got. And then on my main account, oh shoot, okay, I saw a 10. I thought it was me, but it was a double hit splat thing. I have 93 agility. Like, why did I go and get 93 agility? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, why would I do that to myself? So I seem to like agility some reason. And I'm actually gonna make I'm editing the video right now where I start doing agility on this account. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 episodes from now, the start of agility, and there's a few reasons to why I point to why I like agility. And it helps me think, is one of the reasons. It's almost like a so on some of my older accounts, I did podcasts while I did agility. And if I just listened to a podcast, it wouldn't work for me. Like, I had to put it to like double the speed. Otherwise they just spoke too slowly, or whatever the case might have been. Of like, it was hard to keep my attention. And then if I do agility at the same time, I have enough of a distraction to keep me focused. And so it kind of puts me into a certain, like, I don't know if meditative state is the right word, but this rhythmic state of being able to, process what's being said and not letting my attention wander. And so I found when I was, doing my early streams, I enjoyed the agility levels because it helps me think too. It was enough of a distraction, but it wasn't distracting enough to let me think. Okay, we're still an aggressive, I guess. I don't see my timer though. All right, we got 15 minutes. What's the bets on seeing some ice boppers soon? Because we really only have one more go. We're almost at 70. I don't know if I should keep my level down or not. It might not matter. I wanted to keep below 85 combat so that I wouldn't get certain tasks. Okay, looks like we do have to leave. Let me pull up, I don't know, like, let's pull up Neve. And then if we come down and we pull up, I know one of them's metal dragons, and that's like the most common task now, so. Where's his things? And then if we go to unique unlock or whatever. I remember there being a lot of 80, 85 Sukas and Scabberites and all these annoying ones. Abyssal Demon, of course, I would actually want when I unlock that, but Smoke Devils, of course, I'd want. But yeah, there's a lot of things at 85 that I want to avoid, which I think is Sukas, Scabberites, but even things like Black Demons, Black Dragons, at 80. And then there's, where's Metal Dragons? I know that's one of them, but I can't seem to find it at the moment. I know. So yeah, there's some reasons to avoid getting my combat up too high, so that's also part of it, is I want to keep my, when I'm doing my wilderness task, and I'm doing my skipping, and then I go and do my Konar, you know, I'm going to be switching to range, and so I'm only going to be leveling up my hit points pretty soon. And so that should give me a lot of time of trying to do this rev stuff without getting a lot of annoying tasks. Oh shoot. But looks like they're not going to give me the ice boppers. At this point, it's very, very unlikely. You know, your odds don't increase at any point, so it's like we've done none. We still have 500 to go. In the next 500 kills, I have a 60% chance still. And so yeah, I think we'll just go get a dragon mace. We'll go get at least a rune defender, maybe a dragon. I mean, at this point, maybe I should just do the Amoxil that we've kind of we might have just hit our point of you know, the reason why I don't want to do the Amoxil is just because how much supplies I'm gonna have to kind of go and get, but it might not be too bad. You know, I can just go and make some super attacks, and then I can go and catch some more warlocks, and then I can bring, you know, some jars of just these moonlights and just keep refreshing them every kill. Just go and grab more and more, go get my prayer back and go fight. But I guess, you know, so, you know, part of it is I'm trying to frame my, you know, I'm trying to frame my YouTube videos to a certain extent of, I kind of like the idea of
finishing this early game, going into the mid game, getting my barrel gloves, and then doing the PVM stuff. So that's part of why I want to avoid doing the amoxil. And I think I'm the only person that's going to even notice that in my video. But not if I make a point about it, I guess. But oh, thank you. Yeah, the benefits of recently moving, I got to spend a little. I wasn't working, so I spent some time on trying to find a way to liven up the place and get some plants and some other things. And I had moved 3 years ago, and I never even took out a lot of my books and my DVDs and stuff like that were kind of like my display stuff. I never actually put it on display anywhere. I just stayed in my boxes, and then I shipped them halfway across the world to go in boxes, and then I shipped them halfway back across the world. So I kind of wanted to, if I was going to pay for shipping on it again, like, okay, let's actually spend some time on it. And so yeah, I'm glad you noted it. Much appreciated. That yeah. Some of the stuff back there are like little gifts and stuff that people have gotten me, and it's a way to think about my aunt that got me something, a way to think about my cousin that got me something. I have a gift from my brother I have at the bottom there, so that's part of it. I don't know what else. Let me pull up my stream. What do you guys see? Oh, you can't see my mouse, of course. It's like, oh, let me just use my mouse and kind of look at this screen, but of course the thing's gonna go up top. I just found a cheat code to life for myself. So I'm not one to clean a lot. And I've always kind of struggled with, like, for a couple weeks I can get really into, okay, we're going to start cleaning again and trying to get on top of stuff. And so like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I found a new strategy for myself. And it's, oh shoot, I have to drink a pot. After I make my food, I put a 10-minute timer on, and I just clean for 10 minutes every day. That's literally like transformed my house from this complete mess, clothes on the ground, yeah, of the dishes and whatever else you can kind of think of, right? That often I'm on top of it, but sometimes I let it slide, and then if it slides, it can pile. And so now I'm at the point where I'm looking for things to do with that extra 10 minutes. It's like, oh, maybe I should go clean my car, I guess. I don't know. Kind of too cold right now, and I don't want to do that, but like, oh, maybe now I have all the time in the world to, do whatever, basically. Like, it's literally just 10 minutes. I'm waiting for my food to cool down. I put a timer on, I go and clean, and it's just a good, consistent time to do it. That's a good thought too. There's a streamer that I actually don't watch his streams, but I watch his another pendant. I watched some of his like YouTube videos or whatever, and he had this idea of oh yeah, it's super easy. He basically he does like these spikes in the ground, and then you just find the spot that isn't a spike, and then you click on it. And then you attack back. There might be some more mechanics, but it's all pretty simple. And then he also, the spot that you're on when he does that spike turns into a permanent like problem of like you can't step on it. So those are the two main mechanics. There might be some other special I kind of forget, but like maybe you have to switch your prayer back on or something like I don't know. I'm making that up, but I just did the boss for the first time on this account. And yeah, it was so much easier than I thought it might be on even this like low level, a much higher stats than I was when I attempted it. But I didn't even have a crush weapon. I used my sulfur blades on it, so. How much time do I have? 4 minutes? Let's just do I have enough supplies to do it? I think so. I'm gonna go collect these moonlights. I only have 26 health and no food. You guys ready? I'm gonna go with this boss with no I'm gonna die, I already know it. Another pendant. Look at that. That could have been. Alright, I'm gonna stock up on prayer. I'm almost guaranteed to mess up at least 2 or 3 times just because I'm a little lazy. Let's see if I can do an amoxil kill. Let's not limit my health even more. Okay, we'll see. But yeah, this is the type of fun I want to give myself of like, it's almost certain that I'm not gonna beat this. I don't even have an attack pot, so it kind of sucks. My 44 accuracy is gonna be like 35 probably now. Alright, so no attack pot. That's the only thing I wish I had right now. I wish I had full health. I mean, it's so quick to teleport out. Okay, we'll teleport out. I wanted to demonstrate it, but I didn't want to spend too much time on doing a run. But I just remembered how quick it is to get back. So we'll go in with full health. We'll put these ones away and we'll grab those. We got this. Let's get a attack. Oh no, we're out of attack. So we'll come and make an attack pot. Our first super attack on the account. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is I know I'm going to get a Glacial Tomatli on this. Right at the end of the stream, we're going to go. And we're going to get the goods. So I have my attack, I have my strength, I have prayer, we're good to go. Let me pick a song because there's only 30 seconds left of this song. And then we just teleport back. And so we'll do 1 kill. And then we'll go call it a day. And we'll get our glacial tomatoes right now. Oops. Is it this way? I think it's this way. Okay. Let's hope I kind of remember. Oops. Not starting off good. So I guess you gotta go break these is the other mechanic. And try not to step on the square like I just did there. Oh no. Alright, we can only afford 1 more mistake. And that's the mistake. Alright, that was not a good showing, so let's try it again. This time we'll bring 2 tickets, and that should be good. Yeah, Moxel got me again. The quicker your crush weapon, the more damage that you can get out. I would think a dragon mace is good. Glacial tomatoes are going to be a good low level one if you have those. Let me go bank this. I thought they gave you more time to, like, I wasn't taking it too serious. I should have attempted to dodge better. Yeah, I think the glacials are gonna I would assume would out DPS a zombie axe. Because it's a 5 tick versus essentially a 2 tick. Okay, that should be good enough. Let's just teleport. I was hoping that my what's it called would be here. Where's my tombstone? Well, maybe we're not going to do this run today. I was just going to go to my tombstone there, but some reason it wasn't there. I didn't realize it was going to permanently take it. I thought you could maybe pick and choose what was in there, but I guess that makes sense for balancing. Okay. All this buildup for these glacial tomatles that are coming right now. Okay, so we still have our attack. I'm blowing it. Okay, we'll go in with just an attack pot. You know, the problem is I have to use the restroom, so that messed up my my thinking ability when that happens. Oops. Well, that was just my, I'm just playing terribly. This is upsetting me. Yeah, I know I can do so much better than I'm doing right now. Okay, just relax. Just drag him this way. But yeah, this is what this account's about. It's called FailNOutloud, and it's just to give myself stupid challenges from time to time and realize it's really doesn't matter. Like it's... So I do a boss that's easy, and I go in unprepared, and I step on stupid things, and I go without the food, and I put myself in situations that expose me as not being as good at the game as I think that I can be, you know? Is that I like to get into the zone when I'm doing this, and so if I do a novel challenge, that's really not my strength. And so learning to kind of go into these novel situations is kind of, oh shoot, I kind of got lucky there. And to make it more challenging so that it's not always so so it's not cookie cutter. I'm tired of the cookie cutter, I guess. But yeah, I'm definitely... You know, it's... So I'm trying to convert in life this, like, feeling of, trying not to always be prepared. You know, that's my default, is to be prepared. So now I want to be stubborn. I'm going to do this stupid challenge. That I literally went and faced this boss. And I think maybe because I was so focused on beating it, that it was easy. But now I'm like, oh, it's easy, so I don't have to put my effort into it. And then I can talk and I can do all these different things. Like, I wanted to demonstrate its ease instead of, you know, my last mindset of like just taking the boss actually seriously. Okay. So now we're prepared. We have more than enough food. We have more than enough, like, what am I trying to impress? Let's just grab more. Like, what? Why not? Okay. Alright, now we're prepared to show how easy this boss is that I just died to twice. You know what I don't have is the ring of recoils, but I guess the boss doesn't do that much recoiling. I thought he was gonna go there, but you know what would help is if I put his true tile location on. Man, I just died again. Alright, I think I'm done with the challenge. But as you can see, it's not that difficult if you have some good accuracy and you just eat food and pray. I'm dying to this low-level boss. This is terrible. But yeah, I have to use the restroom too much at this point, so. But But yeah, thank you guys for joining today. This is Failing Out Loud, so this is the moments, this is that high engaging content that I get to bring out. You know, once I started talking at the end, I started playing worse again. So it's just I try to narrate too much. As I said, I just didn't want to. You gotta respect even the little things in life sometimes, and you know, my mind is on not what it's supposed to be on. We'll leave the swordfish to die. You know, I'm not really good at demonstrating things. It's one of the things in life of like, I want to show something. If it happens naturally, I'm usually pretty good, but like if it's like, I have to like rehearse, like, or I have to quote something, I have to like, I want to show how easy it is. Like it kind of like, yeah, it takes me out of it, I guess. And so it wasn't like me playing the game, it was me trying to demonstrate. I hate those moments. But, you know, the point is, so, okay, so the whole thing that I'm doing, right, is that I can always, you know, prepare everything and know all the information, and, you know, I have a certain level of confidence nowadays more on my ability to make up stuff on the fly, but I didn't always have that, so it's not really my natural strength. It's, or maybe it is my natural strength, who knows, but regardless, it was something that I've always doubted within myself for most of my life. And so, you know, doing this account is kind of you know, I called it the channel Courageous Comfort, and then this is the first chapter of Courageous Comfort, Failing Out Loud. And so your ability to fail out loud is, you know, your ability to take on risks, I think. And so you just do it, and it's like, it doesn't matter like what. I am not as good at this game as I think I am sometimes. And, you know, I can make it whatever excuse, and but it doesn't even matter. It's just like, whatever. Like, no one cares. Like, it's just, you know, failing out loud. It's not so I make big deals about things that are not big deals. And so that's, you know, that's where perfectionism comes from. It's not like, oh, I just like everything to be perfect and in a line. It's, well, perfectionism comes from when, you know, you don't want to be exposed to having like a vulnerability or a weakness or whatever, right? And so, yeah, that's kind of, I'm past that, right? But, you know, if I don't go through the reps, I still like, you know, don't quite, you know, have that, you know, like the neurons, the nerves within me, right? They haven't built that new way of being yet. So even if I can make whatever claim of like, oh yeah, I'm doing this or this, and you can say whatever pretty words, but until you kind of rewrite yourself, you know, you're kind of where you're at. So I hope that made sense. And I'm glad I took on that stupid challenge. Just an annoying thing, you know, like, why do I have to be so... I'm so terrible at being like, humble's not the right word, but like, whenever I want to show something that's easy, like this is just, like I put an extra layer on myself for some reason, of like trying to show it like, oh, I'm not going to put any effort towards it, like to show that it's easy. And so it's just like, you know, when I did this boss before, it was like, oh, it's a challenge to me of like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I'm going to go with these blades so I can't make a mistake. And so now I entered it. I have no experience with this boss. I've killed it one time on this account, and I've, a couple of years ago or whenever it came out, I probably killed it 20, 25 times for the stupid thing. I haven't looked at guides. I went in not even knowing the mechanisms. I didn't put any true tile indicator like around the boss, so I see what square he's on, so I'll know when my guy goes right next to him. And so, every little mistake that I make distracts me though. And so, yeah. So it's Failing Out Loud, Courageous Comfort, this challenge for myself, and yeah. So take care, everyone. It's the end of the stream. I gotta eat, get to the gym, do some video editing, and hopefully get this episode out on Thursday. What's today? Tuesday, right? So we got some time, and hopefully this time I don't have to rush to make my my thumbnail and my little added videos and such. But well, have a good day, everyone. Take care now.